I want to go over this week's pillar for the Champion's Mind framework for you. We've gone over clarity. That's our facts and future, right? Where are we starting? Where do we want to be? We've gone over the habits, our Thrive 5, our 5 basic pieces every day we have to try and hit that give us the leverage to get to this big goal, right? When we're competing, we don't think about winning at the end. It's the daily work that builds up to that end result. And that's what we can focus on. That's what we can adjust. You can't adjust the gold medal at the end. That's what you get because you did the daily work. The daily work is predicated on accountability. Otherwise, everyone would do it. Everyone just, yeah, we all did the stuff and no one ever failed. Wish that was how it was. When you're at your best, right, in accountability, there's 4 pieces to this, right? It's a goal. That's the facts and future, where we want to be. There's the plan. That's what you're doing right now. You're following your plan, right? There is a guide, someone to help you along the way versus just spending 50 years wandering with a machete in the jungle if you got there. And there is the leverage. That is the date at the end, right? The goal, the plan, the guide, and the deadline. That's the leverage, right? We have those 4 things. On a weekly and daily basis, accountability is you logging in and completing your workouts or tracking in True Coach, right? You don't have to be perfect for this plan to work. Hopefully you're seeing that already. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you do have to be consistent and accountable. That means you have to log in and let me know how you're doing. Even if it is, I didn't get that done, clicking the workouts completed. The 4 pieces in here are marking the workout, like I just said, updating weights, reps, sets, time, how far you went. Those things are important, right? It takes a second, but it's important information for me to help you move forward. And then your weekly reflection that creates the revelation, oh, okay, that's how that worked. That creates the revolution. That's the process every week, right? You put your data in, you track, and we get to look back on it and go, why did I run so fast? Or why didn't I run so fast? Here's what happened. My sleep was off. My gut ate some inflammatory foods, so I did not process my nutrition very well, and that gave me low energy in my workout. That's the reflection. That's the revelation. That's the revolution. Next week, I'll eat better. I'll get my meal prep done. Okay? That's part of this. On the bigger level, I want you to look at this. We call it the Ownit Framework. And I've typed it up for you, but this is a 3-step process that's going to allow you to go through any situation and feel like you have power over it. A lot of times you'll hear people say that things happen to them. Okay, well, I know for myself as an athlete, there's a lot of things I could not control. I couldn't control my draw, who I was going to compete against. I couldn't control the venue. I couldn't control the referees. I couldn't control the time of day I fought. Couldn't even control when I fought or what was going to happen. I couldn't control any of that. I can control myself. I can control my output. That was it. So I had to go really hard down this own it mindset, right? I had to stand up across some of the best fighters in the world, Olympic champions, world champions, many times, right? And it was scary, it was daunting, and it's easy to go, I wish I had a better draw. I wish I had more time. Why can't we push this back a couple months? I wish I had this. And we look back at our 4 pieces, right? The plan, the guide, the deadline. We can't move that deadline back. I had to show up. I had to step out there in the ring and do it. And what that did was it forced me to look at it and go, okay, Tim, this is where you're at. You are here because you've done this much work. This is what you've got. You can't lie about it. Everyone in the arena can see it. It is real. I had to own who I was and the work I did, the habits, my routine, right? What we focused on before to achieve the goal, the clarity. So hopefully you see how I'm systematically building these pieces back in you. Ones that most likely in endeavors that you've done well, you've had in your life. Okay, the Ownit Framework goes like this, right? That there is a story, there's some assumptions, or there's some conclusions that are causing you to create that negative athlete mindset loop, right? That negative frame. Something about the story. What I want you to do is question, is this story true? Are you 100% sure it's true, right? I think, oh, so-and-so is, this person's a world champion, so that means he's going to beat me. Well, are you sure it's true, Tim? Well, have they never, they've lost once before, so they are beatable. Okay, so that story is false, right? I'll never be able to achieve this goal because, so no one's ever lost weight before. No one's ever completed a marathon. No one's ever done it with a lot of work in a 10-minute window a day, or has someone? So is that story true? Or is it something that maybe isn't 100% true that we're telling ourselves, right? Think about that. I'll never be able to do it because of blank reason. The next part is your perspective shift. What is the opposite version of this story? So instead of saying this person's unbeatable, well, even the best person I ever fought, a guy named Chu Muyin that won the 2004 Olympics from Taipei, right? I fought him in the semifinals of the World Championships on the day he won his first world title. So I got to fight him at the very pinnacle of him becoming the best, right? But someone had beat him before, and even beating him, how do you beat someone? That's the accumulation of scoring on someone over and over. So I'd seen someone score on him the match before, so he was hittable. That is the opposite of that first story. This person's unbeatable. No, well, they can get hit. Well, they can get hit. They can be beat, right? The same thing. I'll never lose 200 pounds. Well, can I lose a pound? Yeah, okay. Well, all massive transformation is the daily habit, that daily work over and over. I'll never learn to walk on my hands. I'll never have my knee surgery. I'll never get my legs strong again. So you're telling me the opposite of that story would be that no one has ever had their legs get strong after surgery. No one has ever got their body back after pregnancy. No one has ever won a tournament living in a rural area, right? Or is that maybe not true? So again, we take the first part of that story. What is the assumption? What is the perspective shift? Now, what is the clarity of it? What do you really want? Okay, I have this person. I think they're unbeatable. I look at the perspective shift and I go, I think they've been beat. What do I want? I want to be world champion. I want to play with my kids. I want this thing. So I have a short amount of time. I'm overweight. Whatever this starting area is. What do we really want? I want to play with my daughter. I want to take her snowboarding. Okay, well, I can do that and be out of shape. But has someone taken their kid snowboarding that works a lot? Yeah, so it can be done. What do I want? I want to be able to do that with my daughter. So I need that. What is the immediate action you can do? Well, I don't have time to work out today, but I sure as crap can eat a little better, or I don't have time to control my food today maybe, but I can get my hydration in, I can get my steps in. What are the things in our daily habits and in our power that we can control, right? And finally, the revelation and reflection. That's what we already do. What did you learn about this process? What did you learn about that false belief? What did you learn about the story you're telling yourself that we didn't own? That first part, this person can't be beat. That is not owning it. This weight can't come off. This is I work too much. The governor's lock, whatever this, these are all stories of victim mindset. I want to have a champion's mentality that comes from ownership of it. So looking back on this now, I want you to reclassify this. Here's the questions for you. What is the problem, the obstacle, or trigger you face? And write it down. What is that false belief? Right? You might need to think about it for a minute. That's okay. So we have time to fill this out. Now look, we're going to come back to own it a lot. Anytime you're off track, we come back to this own it framework. And number two, what are the emotions and feelings? Because it's not just that it's logical, right? I'm laying out logically, but it feels a way. Oh, this guy can't be beat. Means I'm going to get beat up again. Well, what does that matter? Well, it means something here. I'm not this person. Well, I've lost plenty of fights, got back in the ring, so it took that power away. So what are you feeling and why are you feeling that way? Why do you feel like you can't be on track right now? Why are you feeling like your work is dictating this for you, or school or life or travel or distance or knowledge? What are those feelings doing for you? And then how does that make you feel? Right? Write that down, get clear. Right? I want you to own it and to go through this and to grow from these painful experiences. Right? If you don't know my story, I lost every fight for 2 years straight, from 15 to 17. I had the audacity to tell people I thought I was going to make the national team. And yeah, people laughed for sure. And they weren't necessarily wrong. It was kind of crazy, but I got to work. I went out and found the best coach I could. And I started doing the best training I could. I got the most dialed and I fell off and I got back on and I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the ability to do it, but I gained it over time, right? Why? Because doubt and problems can lead to failure, but I want you to have certainty, and problems can lead to success, right? The problem's always there. That's the obstacle. The obstacle here is the way. We need those obstacles to overcome them. That brings us out at our best. And look back at that, the challenges you've had in your life. When have you owned it and said it stops with you and you're going to do something about it? and when have you not? And I think you're going to see two very drastic outcomes. Okay, so fill this out and look at your Own It mindset this week.